Alright, so now we'll start from the beginning. Now our main goal here is the door, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is put this on manual settings. Then I'll look for the category package and then all elements of category after that. Alright, and then let's see what else. Open up the element type package as well. Look for element type. So for the category itself, we'll select the doors. There it is. Then connect it to the all elements of category and then add the element type here and connect that one as well. Press run, and this was because the width by height parameter is part of the type. So now we have 24 doors here, but in total we had 7 types only. So I'll go over here and add the list.uniqueItems package and connect it to the element type. Run and it gets all the 7. So basically it selected one example of each type and presented it here. Then I'll go over here and look for list.count. Bring the list.count over here and connect it to the script. Then I'll hit run and we get 7 items. Now these 7 are used in a lot of places. And now I want to distribute the frame here and the doors up to the number of the types that we have. So I'll use the rest of the dividing package here, connect it to the list.count, and then I'll add a number here, and as the example I'll give it number 4. Now this may fluctuate based on your project and then you'll have to manually edit it. For now I'll connect it to the Y and press run, and here it is. And alright, in the next step we want to divide these. So I'll open up the package here, but I also need to state an important point here, and it's that the dimensions of the frame here are going to be useful, so we need to take note of them. It's 3850, that's the width, and then for this one I'll put in the dimension. Let me just select the doors and the text and put in some distance between them, and then I'm gonna just round this down as well. So fix it on 5600, that's the height, and for the width itself we'll just go with 3800. I think this will work better. Alright, so open up the type properties, get a duplicate here, and edit the value of the text size to 5 and then 0 for the offset. Okay, let's go with 10 for the text size, and there it is. That's much better. Alright, now let's go back to the Dynamo and connect the count from the list.count to the X on the division and the number to the Y and press run. And what we get is 1.75. Now the next tool that I'm going to use is the greater than, and what I'm going to say is if this right here connected to the X is bigger than 0, so open up the code block and name it 0, connect that to the Y, and now we're going to enter the if package. Now we're doing this because we want to do the sorting more organized and just place the items in a more careful way. I'll press run up to here, and let's see, it says it's true up to here. So this is our test. Now for here on the left where we have the decimal number, I'll open up a math.ceiling package which rounds up the number. So run, and it's 2. Then I'll connect the integer to the true, and if it's false we can get it from this one. Run, and let's see what we can get. The result is 2, meaning this one. Now what I want to do right now is distribute these throughout the chart. So I'll select the script that we have here, and group it because the process is a bit long. And then I'll name the group itself, getting the desired category and determining the row. Let me just type it out. And all right. Now in the next part, we want to copy it. So I'll use right click to find the select model elements package. This is because we have multiple elements. I'll press select and then select them in the Revit, excluding the door shape and the text. That's the reason that I extracted them earlier. All right, and now for the process of copying itself, we're going to go over to the library and use the element.copy package by Vector. This uses the Clockwork package. Make sure to install the package, and then I'll open it up here, and we can connect the element to here. Then we have the vector. Now we need to do some preparations for that. First, we need to determine the direction, so I'll open up a code block, and then I'm going to give it the formula to calculate this. Put in a W, then a couple of dots, then hashtag to signify the number, open up the parentheses, n-1, then close it, a couple more dots, and then W. Then semicolon to finish it, and there we go. Now let me just make sure to capitalize the W in order to prevent the blue style reserved condition. So the W is 3800 here. So I'll add a number here, and then this is going to be the distance that's stable. Then we're going to give it the 3800. Connect that to the W, and then the number. We can get this from the amount and the number that we'd gotten previously. There we go. I'll press run up to here, and then we get a list of the numbers: 3800, 7600, and 11400. The next package that I'm going to add here is the vector.by coordinates x, y, and z. Connect this in the direction of the x, and then the vector goes over here. Run, and there we go. You can see how the organization of the chart works. And the warning that we get here is saying that it's outside of the range, and it's because we're using millimeters. So we'll go over to the settings, open up the scaling menu, and put it on large. Apply, run, and there we go. And it was because the space that was used here was too large. And you can see how easily it copied the elements right next to each other here. Alright, so now I'll select the door and place it here in the middle, or wherever else you prefer. Then I'll copy these texts and place them in the field. And let me just grab this and increase the size of the field itself, because the texts might have to be changed later on. And well, all right, let's see the list, and then let's open up the element and fix it on level 2, run, and well, all right. Now the next package is going to come from the library, and it's the list.add-item to front. Select it and open it up here, and let's move it around and place it here. Now we get a list from the new element, and the item is what we've selected previously. Then let me just zoom in, press run. Then I'll fix the item on level 2 and level 3 for the list. Press run, and then let's see what we can get. There we go. Here's the items in the list. All right. In the previous part, we distributed these in the direction of the row. Now we want to do this in the column. What I'm going to do first is edit the number to 2 then press run. There we go. And then if I type in 3 and press run, there it is. Now if let's just imagine you put a number such as 5 in the number field, it turns out like this. So we had 7 types in total. I'll put this on 8, and then later on when you're working on it, because you can't add actual columns, I'll put it for now on number 3, but later on try to keep the number of the rows lower than the number of the doors, or